my gosh. So good. Thank you very much for sharing. That was an amazing definition. I love it. So we're going to jump into upcoming team events and campaigns now. And so I wanted to start off with February Frenzy. We have some enrollers well, so far since it started. So basically just starting last week, Shayna and Heather Hurt. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but was that one of Rachel Neff's enrollments, Amanda?
Yes, sorry. It's Rachel.
Okay. Yeah. That's exciting. I just didn't recognize that name. That's super exciting. And there's 20 days left in this promotion. So you guys get your celebration ticket just so that you're eligible. Okay. This promo is amazing. And good job to those two who are taking advantage of it so far. Also, so we just are close to wrapping up the 11-day detox. The last 2 cleanse days are today and tomorrow. So that's super exciting. And so, Amanda, would you mind elaborating on, okay, the 11-day detox happened. It's almost done. Now what?
Yeah, awesome. So if you guys remember, before this started, we emphasized a lot on promoting the 11-day detox again and again and again, not just mentioning it one time on social media. And this is mostly social media, I should mention, but promoting it again and again and again. And think about if someone's seeing, they're on the fence, they're not quite ready to join, they're seeing these promotions or these posts, and then you've never mentioned it ever again. They might think, oh, I wonder whatever happened. Or they might not think anything of it. Or they might be like, well, that's weird. Like, they must not have had anyone join because they just stopped talking about it. And so what I encourage everyone to do was keep talking about it while the promotion or the detox was going on. So talking about today's a cleanse day or cheering on your people or giving them a shout out. But it's about to be wrapped up. And so what I would do is share as many success stories as you can from the 11-day detox. And that can be screenshots of text messages that you've received, and it's up to your discretion if you want to leave the person's name out or if you want to tag them, if you want to ask for permission, but screenshots of people telling you their results and what they've experienced. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask, oh my gosh, now that the 11-day detox is over, how are you feeling? What did you experience? Set it up so that you can have a good screenshot conversation or a text message conversation screenshot. If anyone took photos or measurements, obviously sharing that. Basically reiterating that what we did worked. It was really fun. You can talk about your experience doing it, but if you can, sprinkle in, it could be one big post if you wanted, but if you could stretch it out to a couple different posts, kind of recapping what that means. And then what I would do is I would leverage it for the future and say, just because this 11-day detox is over, don't worry if you didn't jump on the bandwagon, don't say that. If you didn't join us, don't worry, there's more detoxes coming up. And just you guys can all see it in the Facebook group. If you go to events and then click on calendar, you can see all of our campaigns for the year, and you can tell people we're going to be doing more of these. I don't know that we're doing the next 11-day detox isn't until the end of the year, but we're going to be doing more challenges, getting ready for summer. So you can just vaguely say, don't worry, we're gonna have more challenges, more group accountability, cleanses in the future, and also say anytime is a good time to start on a nutritional reset. Or if you're interested in doing your own 11-day detox, let me know. We can set you up with your products. Like, just be thinking about different ways that you can say it. And it's not that it's this one-time thing, and if they didn't do it, they've missed out. That they can start at any point in time, and that we have more things coming up in the future. But if you can, sharing success stories. And if you don't have anybody that did the 11-day detox, then let's say Charity posts about one of her gals who has awesome experience, then ask, can I share this person's experience? That's the whole point of this, is sharing other people's stories. Or if you didn't participate, like I didn't participate, I'm pregnant, so I'm not going to share my own experience, but I can share other people's stories and cheer other people on. So that is what I would suggest for, don't just let the 11-day detox die. Definitely talk about what happened, what people experienced, and if you need help with that, just reach out, but be compliant and be honest, but be excited and talk about the future. And again, if you guys want to know what's coming up for social media campaigns, go to our Facebook group, Team InteGRITy, click on events, and then look at the calendar. I think that's probably the easiest way to do it. And just know that we have something, a little bit of something always coming up, including the plan is to be doing a giveaway in March, which would be awesome, which we'll talk about when it gets closer. But anyway, yeah, that would be my suggestion. And don't be afraid to reuse one of the 11-day detox images, the Valentine's Day images that I created. Don't be afraid to use that even in your recap, because it takes people, they need to see the same thing again and again and again to build an understanding and a recognition of it. And so, and your brand and branding basically. So don't be afraid to use that as well, especially if you use them when you were promoting the detox.
Awesome. Thank you. I was taking notes like a mad woman over here. Seriously, how am I going to follow up? This is so good. I love it. Now, I think that tax day is one of the next promos that we have coming up. Is there anything that you have to add about that, Rachel or Amanda? Sorry, leveraging that?
So what I'm thinking is, like, tax day is April 15th. I don't know how many people wait till the last second to do their taxes. I certainly don't wait till the very last second. But the truth is, people are going to be getting their money back, their tax return back, anytime between now and April and even beyond April. But it's a good time to start dropping hints. This is not a planned out, like, from this day to this day, promote tax day. This is more should be on your mind. Be thinking about it maybe once a week or a couple times a week, throwing that out there. And it doesn't have to just be like spend your money on InteGRITy. It could be fun, like open-ended, like what are you going to spend your tax return on, and just see what people say. Or what's your favorite thing that you've ever spent your tax return money on, or whatever. But then also it could be more direct, like invest in your health, or maybe it's a picture of you with all your tax papers out and you're doing your taxes and you talk about how excited you are, just like what are you going to spend your tax money on, and definitely talk about InteGRITy or the products, right? You see what I'm saying? So any way that you can sprinkle that in, because subliminally, people are going to see that again and again and again and again. So then when they're thinking, oh, when's my tax return coming? It's not a brand new conversation with somebody like, oh, I never thought to use my tax return to invest in my health. That is a big one. I think for those of us who've been doing this a couple years, you do see an increase in people who will sign up when they get their money versus like they wouldn't have signed up any other time of the year. So for that one, keep it in mind. That's where I wrote. That's where I wrote in here in my notes, like starting in February, tax return posts about investing in your health, March, and then into April even.
Okay, I love it. Thank you so much. Again, taking so many notes. This is so great. Shayna has a couple questions, so I wanted to see if we could help her. Is there a tasteful or compliant way to post about writing my grocery bill off on my taxes? I've been thinking about a post like that, but struggle to make it work. Fantastic question. I'm not the compliance queen. Rachel, do you have any feedback there?
I would say yes, there is a compliant way. Off the top of my head, I would need to like process, and you guys don't need to watch me process that. But I think that would be something really good that we can process and figure out, and then post that verbiage in Team InteGRITy so people have that. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Shayna.
Yeah, great idea. I'm excited to see what comes of that. So thank you so much for asking, Shayna. Awesome, you guys. We're going to dip right into the team call content now, and I'm super excited about it because it's integral. This is so important to success, and well, let's just dive into it. Retention. So we started this topic last week. Rachel dipped into some super great content. I'm going to be expanding on it. So this week, I'm going to be talking about some really juicy information from the perspective of product users' experience. And then in 2 weeks, when Amanda leads our team call, she's going to be dipping into the same topics, but from the business builder's experience. So this is really great because, as we know, most people start out as a product user, and then we hope that they dip into more business building with us. So definitely different ways to kind of navigate those two kinds of people and clients. So what I want to start with is proclaim yourself to the world. Tell them what you're doing and be excited about it. Create curiosity. So one way to proclaim yourself to the world is a power post, social media. So I would love to share a couple of samples of ones that I have helped my product users use before when they like come out on Facebook. And these are examples from leaders in Isogenics. So one of them's from Trudy Maples, and one of them I found from University in Action. But the first one I want to share is this one from Trudy Maples, and I learned of this one at NYKO in 2017. So this is how it goes. I'm so excited. I just started a brand new health and wellness journey. I watched my friend change her life, and I'm so excited to change mine too. Hashtag join me. Hashtag let's get healthy together. So that's one idea. Now there's another one that gives more details, it's a little bit longer. So I would just kind of think that you would tailor this to your client and their personality, and also how often they're on social media right now. I think that that's kind of a big one. What's their following like? So the next one is, after watching my friend blank release, experience, or have blank, blank, and blank in just blank number of days using an amazing superfood nutritional cleansing system, I decided it was time for me to experience similar results because I was tired of feeling blank, blank, and blank. I'm so excited to get started and to get my body back. My system hasn't even arrived yet, and I'd love to have some of my good friends join me on this journey so we can hold each other accountable and get the healthiest we've ever been together. Who's up for looking and feeling their best? So that is just awesome. Like, that would pique my curiosity if I hadn't already known of Isogenics. So I think that those are some great ways to help our friends come out on Facebook about their journey and really be upfront about it. So the next proclaiming yourself to the world is with your friends and family. So excitedly share this in person. Tell them, instead of the verbiage that you would post on social media, just say that to them, but in such an excited voice that they feel it, that they like want to join you because you're so excited. They have no idea what you're doing or how it's even going to change their life, but you're just exuding that excitement. Eat the food around them. I do that all the time. You're like, oh, what's that? Looks delicious. Well, it is delicious. And it gets them asking questions. So that's another way that you can do it. But then also, you don't always have to lead with Isogenics when you're just around friends and family. Ask them questions to catch up with them. And then oftentimes it's going to come up anyways, or they're going to say something about how good you look or your energy. And so that's just naturally going to come up, as we know, once we put these products in our bodies. And then also, the more that you talk to them, just search for that pain point that you know you have a solution for with Isogenics. And then another proclamation is, you just can't quit because now everyone knows. So helping your products users live out loud. Lead by example. So I had a little bit of a hard time with this when I started my Isogenics journey because I wasn't on Facebook much before I started using the products. So I started using the products almost 2 years ago, and that was really when I started using Facebook again. I had an account, but I wasn't regular or consistent whatsoever. So help your product user live out loud. If they're taking their vitamins in the morning, take a picture and then post it on Facebook and give a blurb about how awesome our vitamins are. Don't post an isogenicshealth.net link on your private or on your public page, but you can give just enough information that's going to make people curious. Also, like adaptogens, not very many people know what those are, and they need to know more about them. So take a picture of your ionics, or how are you doing mixing your shake up while you're at your kids' practice, or game, or eating a bar while you're grocery shopping because you're hangry. Anything like that, just like living out loud. How are you using Isagenix products? Now, the next part of retention is friendship. So we want our product users to feel loved and included, and that we're all friends, because that's so cool. That is the beauty of this community. So when you develop relationships in network marketing, it's easier to stay. So we start for the products, we stay for the friendships. That's another one that's often kind of talked about. So I feel so blessed that some of my dearest friendships are my Isagenix family. And I've only been doing this for 2 years, so I'm very excited to see what's yet to come. But I was open. I was involved right off the bat. The relationships I built are some of the strongest and healthiest of any relationships that I have. And it just happened so quickly that I just could not be more blessed. So get your friends and family and clients and customers involved and connect them into our groups and just make them feel special and loved. And that leads me into the next one. Introduce your people to as many people as possible. So there's lots of different ways to do that. 3-way calls. Right out the gates, we recommend 3-way calls. It's for validation, for one. It also takes the heat off of you introducing Isagenix to this new prospect. So it makes it a better like roundtable conversation. And thank goodness Amanda led by example with that for me. So she enrolled me, but Rachel, bless her heart, she was really the one who led the call at first, because Amanda was brand new too. So I was part of a 3-way call, and then I was enrolled just a few days later, and I started sharing right away, you guys. So then I had Rachel doing 3-way calls with me, Amanda doing 3-way calls with me, and 2 years later, I still have them doing 3-way calls with me. I'm not brand new anymore, but I'm certainly still not an expert, and it just makes the conversation flow a lot better. It's fun. It's amazing to have that third person on the call. It's just a different dynamic. So another way to introduce your people to as many people as possible are events. Host those. Go to them. Get to them. So host them. Have your own in-home parties. And if your clients and customers and friends and family are local, invite them. If they're not local, we can do virtual, sip and samples too. But try and get together in person if you can. The vibe is amazing. But once you get your customers enrolled, help them have their first launch party too. And so that will be expanding the network even more. And so always encourage that, like get people involved as fast as possible if you can. And then get to events. So this is not negotiable. Super Saturdays happen occasionally, associate run events that are local to specific cities. So you may have to travel a little ways depending on where you're located. But a few times throughout the year, there's probably a Super Saturday that's fairly close to you. And then there's the core 4 events that are listed on isagenixevents.com. You can also find the Super Saturdays on isagenixevents.com. So that's where you can find all events. But sometimes, and these ones are a little bit harder to know about in advance, but they have the virtual Super Saturdays. So those are amazing. They did one earlier this year, and I remember there was one last year. I don't know how often they do those, but we will have those posted in Team InteGRITy when we know about them as soon as possible. So just know that those do happen occasionally. It may be a little bit more last minute, but you can tune in to an amazing Super Saturday from the comfort of your own home. And it's typically just like a $5 donation, and it goes to Make-A-Wish. And you can donate more if you want. And of course, the goal is to raise as much money as possible so that we can grant as many wishes as possible. So I think that they were able to definitely grant at least 1 wish on the last call, maybe even 1.5 or 2. I don't know what the final number was, but that's so cool. That's what we're all about. All right, and then NYKO and Celebration. If you can't get there in person, things happen, I get it. you should definitely purchase the live stream. So that's typically, well, I don't even know if it's always the same price, so I'm not going to say a price, but for a small fee, you can tune in from the comfort of your own home and not miss all of the epic training from the amazing leaders, learn about the new products, all the science talks, everything. So there's not much reason for you to not be able to be a part of events on any level. And then welcome calls. So this is still a three-way call, but it's a little bit different. So you've already enrolled the person, but this is like a walk through your box call. So again, I have to give props to Amanda for this because she has asked me to be a part of her welcome calls multiple times, and it's really fun. She pulls me in a little bit to talk about like my cleansing experience with these people and give them tips on my little tips and tricks, I guess, because I love cleansing and I do some unique things. And so it just, again, kind of creates that special atmosphere, gets people plugged in, and they feel loved. I mean, we just want them to know that they're really a part of our family. So trying a welcome call, I challenge you to set up some welcome calls for your walk through the box calls and get another person on the line with you. It's really fun. So Amanda's great at that.
This one was really helpful. I remember one specifically. I had a girl who was really nervous about cleansing, and I needed her to borrow my belief, but it just wasn't enough. And so that's when I pulled InteGRIty on, and I was like, InteGRIty, because InteGRIty is a master cleanser, you guys. She's so good. I don't cleanse. I just don't cleanse as often as everybody else does. And I knew she would have some great tips, and I knew InteGRIty's personality would really like make this girl feel really special and loved, and it worked. And so I just said, you know, I don't do it on every single product walkthrough, but this time I felt like, you know, InteGRIty really does have value to add in how like cleanse tips, and just she's so sweet and would help this girl feel more comfortable. So that is great if you have someone who is really nervous or on the fence about it. And then another time I did it, I think, was it Rachel or InteGRIty, was I had a gal who lost like 15 inches after her first 2-day cleanse or something crazy. And so we just celebrated. It was like not even very long, 5 or 10 minutes. And I just pulled Rachel on. I was just going to talk with this girl about something else, but I pulled Rachel on, and we just celebrated, because that's a big deal. And so be thinking differently about three-way calls. Yes, the three-way call is great for an enrollment, but think about how else you can use a three-way call to validate and help a product user really get over that line that we talked about last week of like, they want to keep using the products. It's harder for them to stop using the products than it is for them to just keep going. And be creative about how and when you can pull in a third person.
Fantastic. Thank you, Amanda. Great examples too. I love those specific examples of how we've done that before. So friendship again, one last thing about friendship is our team calls. So who would not, or who would agree, not would not, but who would agree that this is special? Like every Monday we get excited to see each other's faces and quickly talk about how life is going, and then we dive into work. But this is work. Like hanging out like this is work for us. This is so awesome. So team calls is a great way for building that friendship and staying plugged in. So emphasizing how important it is to not just hit a call a month, but really it needs to be a regular thing in order to help them get the product knowledge that they need, build rapport with the team, and learn about the other opportunities that are available to them. They need to be on our team calls. So that's amazing, and just keep sharing and, you know, stressing how important it is to your people, and hopefully we will have greater attendance when we do that. And then product experience. So retention, product experience. This is huge. This is so amazing. So we got to set our product users up for success. You're not done with your customer at the time of enrollment, even though sometimes we're like, whew, we're done. That was done. We're good. We got them signed up. Awesome. Your job is really just starting. Set the appointment for the welcome call product walkthrough at the end of the enrollment call. Don't get off the phone without having your next appointment set. The way that I do that is I typically just say, okay, so you're in Washington. My products usually get here 3 to 4 days after they ship from from corporate. So let's just think forward a little bit. That means your products are probably going to be here on Tuesday. When would you like to start? Oh, well, you might as well start the next day. It doesn't make sense. You're still going to be eating food, right? So they typically agree with me that they don't need to wait at all. So I just set that call for that Tuesday night. If it doesn't work out, it might be Wednesday. But I try and get them on the phone right when their products arrive, unpack that box, and get them going.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, honey. Okay, excuse me. Please go out. Keep them excited. We don't want like these lulls in excitement. And so my order of things goes like this. So after I set someone up, enroll them, then I send a welcome email congratulating them on starting their journey. I do that right after I get off of the phone with them after their enrollment. My email includes just a happy congratulations little sentence, and then how to access their back office. So the hyperlink for their back office, and then their username and password that we set them up with at the time of enrollment. And then there's also links that I include with some verbiage, how to share and get your products paid for, ISA Body Challenge, Healthy Mind and Body, and where to access more information on both of those as well. Kind of like a short little blurb about what they are and where to find more information. And then isagenixhealth.net, I often include some links to like shake recipes and some healthy fork and knife meal ideas. So that's like my initial email when I get off the phone with them after an enrollment. And then typically the next day, so when I know their products have shipped, because they usually ship the following day, I'll send a separate email. Your products are on their way to you. I'm so excited. Once you receive them, let me know so that we can definitely hop on that phone call and go through them. And then I've already got the date scheduled. But if they get their products a day earlier, if they get their products a day later, it's a little bit flexible. So we do have a date set, but in that same email, I just tell them, let me know when your box arrives. I'm just so excited for you. So I'm reiterating, don't start this system without talking to me. That is how serious I am. And so in that same email, I tell them kind of like, I write out what I'm also going to tell them in person, but I write it out because it's something that they can then reflect back to when they have questions. So I tell them, please take your measurements. I also tell them, take your before photos. And this is like not negotiable for me either. I want them to do this because the scale does not tell the whole story, as we know. And then I say, sorry, the alarm was going off outside my house and it was really distracting. But then I give them a sample of like, what's a shake day look like? What does a cleanse day look like? And then I also tell them, look at your calendar. What days does it make the most sense for you to cleanse? Please think about your day and make sure that you're not going to have a dinner date or a lunch meeting where food is brought in and it's a temptation or whatever. And minimum 2 shake days before you cleanse, and then 5 days between deep cleanses. So I'm writing this out for them because I know that my people have told me that they like having this to reflect back to after we've already had our conversation. So those are some things that I put in that email, but I go over all of that again when I'm doing their product walkthrough, because 9 times out of 10 they don't read the email. So I don't feel like I'm doing double duty or anything, because typically they only hear it once. And then I reach out almost daily. I love to say shake day number 1, and I let them know you may experience some headaches, typical detox symptom. Like I kind of do like a little bit of like the 14-day talk. If you don't know what the 14-day talk is, go into Lean Body for Life, search 14-day talk, and some bullet points are going to come up. I think Amanda Pike has posted that before, but also there's a YouTube video Tracy O'Malley did on the 14-day talk. So if you haven't watched the 14-day talk video, that Tracy O'Malley had organized. It's on YouTube. It's really good. So make sure that you know what people can expect in their first 14 days. Everybody's different. I didn't experience all of the detox symptoms, but lots of people do. So just know, be prepared so that you know what they can expect. And then you know kind of how to coach them appropriately. So cheer them on almost daily, I would say. Not for the whole 30 days, but I am in contact with my people a lot and definitely know when they're cleansing. So on that, walk through the box phone call, I sit down with them and I have them look at their schedule and we map out when they're going to be cleansing so that I know, so that I can cheer them on and be very intentional on those days at celebrating them and making sure I'm available to them to help them answer questions. And then the next thing that is really important for me to help ensure success and not any upsettedness is to have an auto ship call. So I set everybody's auto ship at the time of enrollment for 29 days because that is going to allow them to capture all of the BV running through their organization. So if you guys have more questions about that, let us know. But 29 days versus leaving it at 30 days is important because at 30 days, they're not going to be able to capture all of that BV. If you have questions about this, please ask. And then I write their auto ship date down in my planner and I assume responsibility to reach out to them because that's part of what I do, but I put the responsibility on them too. I encourage them to put it in their planner. Just because this is their account, they should have definitely hold some, stake in remembering that there's an order that's under their credit card that could potentially go out. I try and reach out to everybody 1 week before their auto ship is set to go out, but I do put it on them to put it in their planner, set a reminder. It's not all on me, but I do reach out to them. So when I reach out to them, my verbiage is kind of like this. Hey, Lisa, hard to believe it's already been an amazing 3 weeks. I'm so excited to connect with you to put a game plan together for your next 30-day journey. I'm free to hop on the phone today between 1 to 4 or tomorrow evening from 7 to 9. What's best for you? So pretty quick verbiage. There's part of something I left out. I usually include their auto ship date. So I left that out, sorry. But I would typically say your auto ship is set for February 28th. I'm reaching out to you now because I want to help you put a game plan together for your next 30-day journey. That's kind of more like what my verbiage would say, so that they know that they need to take action before February 28th. Hopefully they're going to connect with you and not just ignore you or be a ghost. But they need to take action before February 28th, otherwise product is going to ship. So that's really the meat and potatoes of what I have to share for retention.
Can I ask Charity?
Yeah.
I'm curious, when you enroll somebody, what do you put in their auto ship cart?
I usually do 4 canisters of shake.
Okay, cool.
And I kind of just go off of whatever flavors they ordered.
Yeah. I did an enrollment today for a premium pack, and it actually just put the exact same premium pack in their order for their auto ship. I didn't get an option, I think. So I was curious if anyone in the next week, when you guys are doing an enrollment, if you notice that, it used to ask you to go through the catalog and put products in the auto ship for them. This time, I didn't even give you the option. It just bypassed it and put the same system in. Which is fine, but that's important because a premium pack is a lot more expensive than 4 canisters of shake. So that's why you have to really make sure you have that call, because we don't want any oopsies that went through and your credit card got charged and then they have to return product and blah, blah, blah. So I love that. And Charity, when you put 4 canisters of shakes in, awesome. Sometimes I put 1 or 2, just kind of depends. But I let people know on the call, this is placeholder product. And I let them know, in touch, we'll be doing another call, and we'll go through everything, and exactly what Kirity said, we'll set up your game plan for the next 30 days. But that's a whole other conversation call. I just was curious because I didn't know. I was like, oh, what does Kirity put in her? So yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, I kind of tell them too, this is just a placeholder product. If nothing is changed, this will ship. But I say this is placeholder product, and we will be in touch before then to update it to products that are more suitable for you. But at minimum, you're going to want to still drink 2 shakes a day. So you're going to need 4 canisters. I kind of just like already tell them that that's typical, planting that seed. So that's that. And then Rachel, did you want to ask about the welcome video?
Yes. So I'm in a couple of other Isagenix leaders business pages, and I've seen a couple of them do this, and I wanted to ask your guys' feedback. You can definitely think about it and send it to me separately if you don't have any immediate thoughts. But what they do is, you know how our pinned post is all the different ways people can get plugged in. So it's a nice like one place for power hour info, team call info, executive call, all of that stuff. But I've seen a few of them do a welcome video that's pinned, and it's about 2 minutes. And in that video, they are welcoming people just like we would in Lean Body for Life. So obviously you're not like unpacking a value pack, but you're almost kind of unpacking the opportunity in a very like bite-sized way. And I mean, there's some videos I saw that I'm like, I would do this differently, and that's okay, but it's just the idea that I really liked. So if you guys think it would be helpful to almost have like a welcome video versus that pin post with the graphics, we'll put it in the file section or something, but if you think that would be helpful to have that kind of warm introduction, they get to see, you know, my face, or, you know, maybe every 6 months we circulate and we have someone different. I don't know, just like ideas, but I wanted to get some feedback on that from you guys. And if you do like the idea, then probably what I'll do is put a poll in the group of different things that we could focus on. Like, am I going to do you share, they share, repeat? Am I going to just like welcome them warmly and kind of set the tone for the culture? You know, different things like that. Because otherwise the video will be like 10 minutes and we want it to be super quick. But thoughts on that? Or has the pin post with the ways to get plugged in been exceptionally helpful and you want to make sure it stays pinned? Or what are your thoughts? Open up to team. Whatever you guys think.
I would love a video. I would love a welcome video, just like a warm welcome. The pin post, I think for my new people goes over their head, because at this point they're still so new. Even if I've talked to them and been like, hey, get on the calls, here's the information, I'll tag you in it. I think, I don't know, and on your phone, I don't know if you guys know this, but the pinned posts don't even show up on your phone. You have to like find a spot that says view pinned post and expand it. And so obviously it's our responsibility to tag people in it, but if we could have an awesome, warm, smiley Rachel face video talking about why has someone added you to this group, what would you expect to find in this group, I think would be awesome, and I would love that.
Okay, so it would still be the pin post, just to clarify, but it would be a video instead. So I'm thinking, again, just a couple of minutes, but probably really just introductory. So if anyone has how to get products for free. So I think what like my thought is, and this is based on what I've seen and how I would do it differently, I would want to welcome people and let them know that whether they're here to get their products paid for and they're not necessarily here to like build a business, or you're doing this to replace your mortgage, or, you know, like planting seeds no matter which way they are. And I've been, I have some ideas for verbiage already if you guys were on board with it. So I guess I should ask, does anyone just think it might be a weird idea? Because I don't. I think it sounds really good. But if anyone thinks it's weird or wants to give like, it could be really great if blank, like please give me that feedback. But that's something I will definitely work on when we get back in town. And that can be something that you guys can plan on seeing next week.
I love it. I'm excited for that. I think it's going to be great. And also, yeah, to have people just tag them in, kind of like in Lean Body for Life, how there's the value pack video. You could just tag them in. That'll be really nice. Okay, well, we're going to wrap up Team Call tonight. Thank you guys for letting me share with you guys.
Can we just give Carity like some shout outs and some love for running her very first team call ever?
Thank you, you guys.
So good.
I saw Shayna ask a question roll in about the welcome email, but I can't check it. So can someone else check the question? To Carity about posting her welcome email.
Oh, yeah, and I said I'm happy to. I'll put it in Team Integrity.
Sorry.
Did you want to know? Did you want to know what the question was?
You've answered it. It's fine.
Okay.
Rachel, Carity, and Rachel sent me a welcome email that I've been using, and then I forwarded it to Carrie, and she's been using it, and I forwarded it. Cassie uses it, and Kenny uses it, and Shauna uses it. So it's not. We want you guys to use it.
Mm-hmm.
It's been working for us, and so yeah, Carrie, if you could post that, that would be great. And I just posted the Tracy O'Malley 14-day talk video and instructions on how to find the post I did in Lean Body for Life. So both those things that Carity talked about, those are both posted in the Team Integrity group already right now too.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yay. Awesome. Good job, Carity.
Thank you. Have a fun rest of your trip, Rachel and Jeff.
Thank you. So Carity, you can just say bye, and then I will end the meeting and end the recording. So
okay. Have a good night, you guys.